Okay, so you've seen the movies, right? Silence of the Lambs, where you have Hannibal Lecter and he's doing his crazy thing, which I'm not even going to come close to trying to imitate, where he's talking about the fava beans and he just wants to eat them and he eats the liver, and it's like pretty gross, right? You probably already have a visual in your head. It was a nasty segment of that movie. But that is what we're going to be talking about when it comes to antisocial personality disorder. Anthony Hopkins did a phenomenal job, not to mention that he's such a great actor, but he did a great job in explaining and helping us to understand what this disorder really does look like. This is Christine Hammond. I'm with the LifeWorks group, and we're going to be talking about antisocial personality disorder. So, what exactly does that mean in the day-to-day? Well, this is the stuff that movies are made of. And this is the stuff that you will see all kinds of shows about. Criminal Minds does shows about people like this all of the time. You'll see them show up in crime shows. You can look at things like The Untouchables and see crime bosses. Those are people who have what we call antisocial personality disorder. I'm going to kind of read through what I call the practical list, and you can go look that up on the website. You'll be able to see it. I've written about it in one of our blogs. And so there's a practical side to it, and then there's a technical side. I'm not going to bore you with the technical side. You can look that up all by yourself on Google. It's very dry. I think the practical way of explaining it is very helpful and will help you to kind of get what it looks like. Because we're not all going to run into crime bosses. Let's face it, like, you know, it's kind of fun to watch it on the movies, but you don't really want to meet it in real life. You know what I mean? But there are people who have this disorder that are walking around. So how do you know if your neighbor or if a coworker you have, or you're even married to somebody who has this disorder? How do you know? Well, we're going to go through it. Okay, so let's talk about the first one. First one is no regard for morality. That means that they have one set of what's right and wrong and morality over here, and the rest of the world is like way over here. Like, not just like, here's my morality and then here's everybody else's. No, no, no. It is like, here's my morality and here's everybody else's. Get the picture? It's completely different, total worlds apart from everyone else. The next one is they lie all the time. This is really hard because they are gifted and talented liars. They can look you right in the face, charm the living pants off of you. You will believe everything that they're saying because they're so good at it. But really, they're lying. And the second you call them out on it, oh my goodness, do they have the best explanations ever? They will never admit to lying. And even when you have cold, hard facts, even when they stand up in a courtroom and say, look, you did this. You actually killed your baby in the bathtub and we have it on videotape. They'll still say, that wasn't me. And they'll be stone cold sober about it. And you'll be, how could somebody even say that? They're antisocial. That's how they can do it. Okay, next one. Uses charm to manipulate. That kind of goes with the whole lying thing, but they'll use their own charm to manipulate you and control you and get you to do what they want you to do. And they do it in the grocery store. They do it when they're in the 7-Eleven buying something. They do it when they're in business trying to work a deal. They do it everywhere. Their charm is amazing. And here's the thing. A lot of times, they're not even nice to look at. You know what I mean? Like, they're not pretty on the face, but they have this amazing charm that kind of like comes from all the way out here and comes right through you and kind of grabs you and pulls you. That's the way it is with antisocials. Okay. This sense of superiority. They truly do believe that they are better and smarter than everybody else in the room. And not just like I'm better and smarter than you. Like, I know you've come across people like that in your lifetime. Probably your boss is like that, just saying. But put that all aside for a second. This is a sense of superiority, like they're godlike. Like there's God, and then maybe they are at the same level as God. They're that high up on the scale. Okay, not a couple steps down. No, right up there at the top. Reoccurring difficulties with all authority. That means that they don't do well. Like, they get stopped for anything and they're in their face. They're fighting back all of the time. Angelina Jolie, great job when she did Girl Interrupted. Total antisocial personality disorder right there. When she was being arrested and the cops were getting her, and she was like arms flailing, legs going everywhere. She was crazy woman, right? That's antisocial. That's exactly what they do. And they don't even care who you are. All right. Repeatedly violates the rights of others through intimidation. So their favorite tactic to use is intimidating you. So they will intimidate people in order to get what they want. Death threats are nothing to them. But when they do a death threat, it's like you somehow believe that it's real. And you should, okay? I'm not trying to tell you you shouldn't. You should, because some of them are truly capable of following through the threat that they have just given you. And you know the difference between someone who says, I could kill you because you just got that great new bag that I wanted, and I could kill you. There's a huge difference between the two, right? Okay. So hostility, aggression, violence is their favorite thing to do. So they'll be hostile, they'll be aggressive. We've kind of already talked about that in a couple different areas. But they will use physical violence all the time as proof of their intimidation. So that is not unusual for them. They usually have gotten in trouble by the law for having done that on several occasions. And so they'll have a criminal record that usually goes along with all of that and back this up. The next is dangerous behaviors. So they do very dangerous things. They do things that you wouldn't even think of doing. They will jump out of airplanes and not even check to make sure that they have a parachute that's ready to go. Like, they do crazy dangerous things because they really do believe they're better than everybody else and they're going to live longer than everybody else. Like, that's kind of the mindset of them. They'll rob banks on the spur of the moment because they needed some money. No big deal. And so that's the kind of thing that we're talking about. All right. Abusive relationships. This is not just about physical abuse. It could also be about sexual abuse. It can be psychological abuse. It could be emotional abuse. There's many different ways to abuse somebody, but usually they will have every single one of those in their repertoire. And it's just a matter of which one do they want to pick to get the most out of you that they want so that they can get whatever it is they want on the back end. That's how they use it. So it's almost like they have a laundry list of different ways of being abusive in order to intimidate and get what they want. It's a very unhealthy cycle. Irresponsible work behavior. They don't do well at work because why would they? Like, they're better than everybody else, including the people that they work with, and they don't really care about authority and have no respect for it. So why on earth would they be good at work? Seriously? Like, that goes without saying. And failure to learn from negative consequences. So even when they've had negative consequences, they've been thrown in jail, they've lost a job, they still won't learn from those things. They still won't change their behavior or do something different. So that is what antisocial behavior looks like. And it's very, very, very difficult to live with or work with somebody who is like this. They can literally be extremely harmful. So if you are in a relationship in any way, shape, or form with somebody like this, please, I'm begging you, get help. Because this is not something that you can do alone, and you have to talk about it with somebody else. You have to get the help to see that they're going to convince you it's all you, but it really isn't all you. In this case, it isn't. It really is them. And you've got to get some help so that you can get a better perspective for what's going on. They won't go to therapy. They don't do therapy. They think it's a waste of time. And even when they're told they're antisocial, they really don't care. It doesn't even faze them. So none of that process helps them. The therapy is there to help you, so that you can get better. And that's what we want to do for you here at LifeWorks Group. So if you are struggling like this, please go online, look at our website, lifeworksgroup.org. We have so many articles and so much help for you, and you really can turn your life around, and it really can be better for you. But please get help with this. This is not something for you to just Google and try to do alone. You can't. It's too dangerous, okay? God bless, and I'll see you about the next one.